All right, so now we have a variation on a type of problem. They are asking us to find a sub 20. So in this case, it is the 20th term. And we are assuming that we do have an arithmetic sequence. So what we'd have to do for ourselves, if we have an arithmetic sequence, we could always write out the general form. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times the common difference d. And if we have a sub 1 and common difference already, we are good to go. We just plug it in. But notice they give us two items. They only give us the 7th term and they give us the 15th term. And since these terms are not consecutive, we don't really have an idea of what the common difference would be just by inspecting them. So what we have to do for ourselves is we just kind of use this general formula for the general term, and we plug in the information that we know for the 7th term and the 15th term. So I'm going to take that and do that for ourselves. So if we can say a sub 7, that's when we say n is 7. That will leave us, and let me see if I can help you out with that, just kind of a little bit of a clue. We're just plugging in 7 for n. So kind of keep that in mind. So a sub 7 is the first term. We do not know that yet. A sub 1 plus, we do know n, which is 7, minus 1 times the common difference d. So take a little time, just simplify it slightly. I know 7 minus 1, very nice. That gives us plus 6 times d. So right now we're saying, okay, we're kind of all right. Let's do the same with n equals 15. Let me see if I can move this up so I can keep these in line. Do that over here. So we have n equals 15. I'd like to keep it color coded though. There we go. Okay, so n equals 15. We are going to do the same thing. We will be looking at a sub 15, replacing n with 15. It's going to give us a sub 1 plus 15 minus 1 times the common difference d. So what we're looking at is just simplifying again. We get a sub 15 equals a sub 1 plus 15 minus 1 is 14, so 14d. So at this stage, what I'd like to kind of point out is we do have general formulas, but we have one more thing that we can approach. So notice when we have our two formulas that we have a sub 7, a sub 15, if we kind of point things out, we have an unknown, another unknown, and another unknown. So that's 3 unknowns. And then the same thing with a sub 15. We don't know a sub 15, a sub 1, and d. Now, if we have 3 unknowns from our previous experience in the previous chapter, we would need 3 equations. So they've got to tell us something other than just this information for us to solve this. And lucky for us, we do have 2 equations now, but we actually have the value of what a sub 7 is. So kind of look this up one more time. A sub 7, we can replace it with the number 10. So that leaves us with 10 equals a sub 1 plus 6 times d. And similarly, look at a sub 15. We actually have a nice concrete number for that. It is 50. So we replace that with 50. So we have 50 equals, and we'll write that equal sign a little nicer, a sub 1 plus 14d. So now we're in a little bit of better shape. I would like to point out at this stage, we do have 2 equations and we have 2 variables. And you're probably not used to seeing variables in this form, but the 2 variables are a sub 1 and d. So you could treat them like a system of 2 equations. So we'll just do that. We'll solve this system. So we're going to solve the system. And if we solve the system, sometimes it's better just to kind of write things where we think we have, what we say, standard form. So kind of think about it. I have, if I'm looking at this 10 equals a sub 1 plus 6d, my two variables are on the right-hand side. I'll just switch them over. A sub 1 plus 6d equals 10. And similarly, for 50 equals a sub 1 plus 14d, I have a sub 1 plus 14d equals 50. So now you can use any type of method you'd like to solve this system of equation in two variables. I prefer using the elimination method. I kind of see that the A1s might be a little quicker to eliminate. So what I will do for myself is I will multiply the second equation by -1 on both sides. So if I do that, I get another system, in a sense, equivalent system. A sub 1 plus 6d equals 10. And if I do multiply by -1, this is going to leave me with negative a sub 1 minus 14d equals negative 50. Let's write that negative 50 a little nicer. And now what this allows us to do, we add vertically, the a sub 1's eliminate, and now we have 6d minus 14d, which is going to give us negative 8d equals 10 minus 50, negative 40. And notice it's pretty quick to solve for d. All we do is divide by negative 8 on both sides, and we get d equaling positive 5. So negative 40 divided by negative 8 is positive 5. So that is the value of one of our variables. So basically, we're going to tie up this system. If we already know d equals 5, we'll plug in d equals 5 to one of the systems of equations. I'll say, I'll try to put it right here. So we have a sub 1 plus 6d equals 10. I just chose the top equation. And if d equals 5, I just plug in 5. So this is going to leave me with a sub 1 plus 6 times 5 equals 10. And a little bit of math. A sub 1 plus 30 equals 10. So all we have to do is subtract 30 on both sides. We should get a sub 1 equals negative 20. So that's the value of our second variable. Now, if they're only asking for what is a sub 1 and what is d, we are good to go. But keep in mind, they wanted us to find the 20th term based on these two terms, a sub 7 and a sub 15. So what you can then do for yourself is go back to the general term, a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Now plug in our known a sub 1's. So a sub n equals a sub 1 is negative 20 plus n minus 1, and d is 5. We can clean this up for ourselves. Negative 20 plus, notice the 5's in the back, so we have negative, let's see, we'll do this. 5 times n, that's positive 5n. Negative 1 times positive 5 is negative 5. Let's write that 5 a little bit nicer. And simplify it a little bit. Negative 20 minus 5 is negative 25 plus 5n. Or if you prefer 5n minus 25, that's fine too. But now you have a nice formula to find future terms. So at the end, what we were trying to find, a sub 20. If we want a sub 20, that's when we're letting n equals 20. So that's going to give us 5 times 20 minus 25. And I believe, what do we have? 5 times 20 is 100. Double check that on me. I'm pretty sure we're good. And from there, subtract off 25. We should get the 20th term, which is 75. So that is the final answer that they want from us. What is the value of the 20th term? And you kind of look at this a little bit nicer. There are different ways you could have figured this out. I kind of like plugging things into formulas. You could have, if you didn't feel like simplifying in this process, you could have gone and plugged in n equals 20 right at this step, and you still would get the same answer. So that's one way to do it. You could have also noticed that if you have a term that's pretty close to 20, like the 15th term, you could then just go and find what is a sub 16, a sub 17, a sub 18, a sub 19, and then a sub 20, just by adding the common difference to each of the terms. So if that's something that you like better, feel free to use this. We can be flexible either way. So I hope this helps. You want to use this to kind of complete the next few examples or your homework. I think you'll do great. We'll see you then.